Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. A smart woman knows who she is. A smart woman understands her worth. And because she knows her value, she does not waste her time chasing what was never meant to be hers in the first place. You see, when you know who you are, you stop running after shadows. You stop begging for attention. You stop compromising your dignity to be noticed. A smart woman stands tall. She stands firm. She stands unshakable because she understands that her life is not built on who accepts her, but on who God created her to be. A smart woman never chases validation. If you don't see her value, that's not her problem. That's your blindness. She refuses to shrink herself to fit inside someone else's insecurities. A smart woman never chases love. Love that runs from her was never real in the first place. She understands that true love will meet her where she is, not make her sprint after crumbs of attention. A smart woman never chases friendship. Because if someone cannot be loyal in silence, cannot be trusted in celebration, she knows that real friends stand beside you, not ahead of you or behind you, but beside you. A smart woman never chases opportunity. She prepares herself, she positions herself, and when the door swings open, she walks through it with her head held high. She doesn't beg for a seat at the table. She builds her own table. And finally, a smart woman never chases closure. She has learned that sometimes the apology will never come. Sometimes the explanation will never be given. And that's all right, because she does not need their permission to heal. When a woman refuses to chase, she becomes magnetic. What belongs to her finds her. What is hers by design comes without force. Her life becomes a testimony that peace is more powerful than pursuit, that dignity is greater than desperation. Wisdom is stronger than wariness. Stop chasing what doesn't see you. Stop chasing what doesn't value you. Stop chasing what was never meant for you. Walk in your strength. Stand in your grace. And trust that what is yours will come running to you. There comes a time in every woman's life when she must make a decision about who she is and where her worth comes from. And the truth is this: a smart woman, wise woman, a woman who has come to understand the depth of her identity, does not chase validation. She does not run after applause. She does not beg for affirmation from people who have not even discovered the weight of their own soul. A smart woman has learned through trial and through fire that her value is not up for negotiation. Validation is a dangerous drug. It is sweet when you taste it, but it is fleeting. It feels good when people clap for you, when they pat you on the back, when they whisper your name with praise. But if you live for it, you will die without it. If you allow your soul to be tethered to the opinion of others, then you will forever be a prisoner of their approval. But a smart woman knows better. She knows that applause is temporary, but identity is eternal. She does not sit by her phone waiting for a message that says, "You are beautiful," because she already knows that beauty flows from the inside out. She does not compromise her dignity to be noticed by someone who cannot even see the fullness of her value. She does not dilute her strength to fit into the small box that others create for her. She refuses to be defined by likes on a screen, comments from strangers, or shallow words from people who don't carry her destiny in their hands. The smart woman has been through enough to understand that people are fickle. They will cheer you today and criticize you tomorrow. They will celebrate you when you are doing what they want and abandon you the moment you step into your own power. If you live for their praise, you will crumble under their rejection. That is why she has chosen not to chase validation. She has chosen to be rooted in truth, anchored in confidence, grounded in the knowledge of her own worth. Flower does not bloom because someone stands in front of it clapping. The sun does not shine because someone posts about it on social media. The ocean does not roar because an audience has gathered to cheer it on. They simply do what they were created to do. The flower blooms. The sun shines. The ocean roars, and in the same way, a smart woman lives in her purpose without waiting for anyone to tell her she is enough. The tragedy is that so many women have wasted years chasing validation. They gave their energy to people who never truly saw them. They begged for attention from people who were blind to their greatness. They sacrificed their authenticity just to be accepted, only to discover that the acceptance was shallow and conditional. But a smart woman rises above that cycle. She no longer asks, "Do you see me?" Do you approve of me? Do you think I'm worthy? She already knows the answer. She knows that worth is not something given her by others. It is something she was born with. When you understand this truth, you no longer panic when people overlook you. You no longer lose sleep when people misunderstand you. You no longer break down when someone refuses to acknowledge your contribution, because you recognize that your value does not decrease when someone fails to see it. Diamonds are still diamonds even if they are buried in the dirt. Gold is still gold even if it is hidden in the ground. And a smart woman is still priceless even if the world is too blind to recognize her shine. A woman who chases validation becomes exhausted because the chase never ends. The moment she wins someone's approval, she must fight to keep it. The moment she receives applause, she fears the silence that follows. She becomes addicted to attention, and her soul never finds rest. The woman who refuses to chase validation is free. She can walk into a room and be overlooked, yet still stand tall. She can be uninvited, uncelebrated, underestimated, and yet still know that she carries greatness within her. This kind of woman does not waste her time trying to convince the wrong people to value her. She understands that the right people will never need convincing. The right people will recognize her worth without explanation. The right people will see her heart without performance. And even if no one applauds, even if no one claps, even if no one validates her, she still moves forward because her destiny does not depend on the approval of the crowd. There is a sacred power in refusing to chase validation. It allows you to stand in your truth, even when you stand alone. It gives you the strength to walk away from toxic relationships where you were only tolerated, never celebrated. It gives you the courage to stop performing for acceptance and start living authentically. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of comparison because you no longer measure your worth by the standard of others. When a smart woman stops chasing validation, she becomes unstoppable. She no longer bends herself into pieces to be liked. She no longer sells her piece just to belong. She no longer bows to insecurity disguised as love. Instead, she learns to validate herself. She looks in the mirror and says, "I am enough." She stands in silence and still feels whole. She walks with her head high because she thinks she is better than others, but because she finally knows she is not less. Validation from others is nice, but it is not necessary. It may feel good for a moment, but it cannot sustain you. The people who clap for you today may walk away tomorrow, but the value inside you does not change. The treasure within you does not vanish. The gift you carry does not lose its power. And the smart woman understands this. That is why she chooses to rest in her identity rather than chase after validation. So if you find yourself constantly running after approval, constantly reshaping yourself to be accepted, constantly thirsting for applause that never satisfies, hear these words: stop running, stop chasing. Stop exhausting yourself for people who cannot even appreciate the depth of your soul. You do not need their validation to be valuable. You do not need their applause to be significant. You do not need their approval to walk in purpose. A smart woman never chases validation. She is too busy becoming everything she was created to be. She is too focused on her calling, too determined in her vision, too grounded in her worth to waste her time begging for acknowledgement. And in the end, the very people she stopped chasing will turn around and notice her, because nothing is more magnetic than a woman who knows her value without needing anyone to confirm it. Love is one of the most powerful forces on earth. Yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. It is beautiful when it is real, but it becomes destructive when it is forced. And one of the greatest lessons a wise woman learns in her life is this: a smart woman never chases love. She does not run after it. She does not beg for it. And she does not compromise her dignity to keep it. She understands that real love cannot be hunted down. It must be received freely. Woman who chases love is often a woman who has been told she is incomplete without it. From an early age, society whispers that her worth is tied to whether or not someone chooses her, that her value is measured by who holds her hand. And so she runs after affection, searching for approval in someone's eyes, mistaking attention for devotion and infatuation for permanence. But the smart woman, the awakened woman, knows the truth. Love that must be chased is not love at all. Real love does not hide. Real love does not play games. Real love does not make you jump through hoops to earn its presence. A smart woman understands that when someone truly loves her, they will not make her beg for scraps of their time, their energy, or their heart. She knows that love flows freely. It does not come with conditions, ultimatums, or constant insecurity. If it is love, it will show itself. If it is love, it will remain. If it is love, it will not demand she abandon herself to prove she is worthy. A smart woman never chases love because she has discovered something greater. She is already whole. She is already complete. She is already valuable before anyone ever says, "I love you." She does not see love as a missing piece to her puzzle, as an addition, a blessing that complements what she already carries within. Love is not the air that keeps her breathing. It is the fragrance that enhances her existence. When a woman chases love, she inevitably lowers her standards. She convinces herself that any attention is better than none. She ignores the red flags waving in her face because she fears being alone more than she fears being broken. She tolerates disrespect because she believes that to be unloved is worse than to be mistreated. But the smart woman has learned to stand still. She has learned to wait. She has learned that loneliness is not a curse when it protects her from the wrong embrace. Chasing love is exhausting. It drains the soul because it is an endless pursuit. The moment you think you've caught it, you realize it is running again. The person you bent yourself for demands more, and you lose yourself piece by piece trying to be enough. But real love never asks you to lose yourself. Real love embraces who you already are. Real love sees your flaws, your scars, your imperfections, and chooses you still. Real love does not run from your truth. It leans into it. Smart woman never chases love because she understands that love that runs away was never meant for her. Love that hides from her was never truly hers. Love that forces her to beg was counterfeit from the start. She knows that what is meant for her will not slip away. What is written for her will not vanish, and what is destined for her will not make her chase in desperation. There is a quiet confidence in a woman who no longer chases love. She can walk alone without feeling incomplete. She can sit in silence without feeling empty. She can witness others being celebrated in relationships without envying because she knows that love is not about timing. It is about alignment. The right love will not come when she is desperate. It will come when she is ready. And when it arrives, it will not make her question her worth. Too many women have mistaken the chase for passion. They thought that fighting for someone's love was proof of loyalty, when in reality it was proof of imbalance. Love is not something that needs to be hunted down. It is something that reveals itself naturally. If you have to fight endlessly just to be noticed, if you have to beg endlessly just to be chosen, that is not love. That is bondage disguised as romance. A smart woman has learned that love should never make her forget herself. Love should not dim her light just to keep another person comfortable. Love should not silence her voice just to keep the peace. Love should not demand she sacrifice her joy to secure a relationship. Real love enhances, it uplifts, it empowers, it strengthens. It never tears down, it never manipulates, it never controls. She never chases love because she knows that real love will chase her. When a man truly loves a woman, he will pursue her with consistency, not confusion. He will honor her presence, not make her compete for attention. He will protect her heart, not play with her emotions. A smart woman knows that if love is real, she will not have to run after it. It will run toward her. There is power in waiting, power in resting, power in refusing to compromise. A smart woman sits in her worth and trusts that the right love will find her. She does not panic when the years pass. She does not crumble when others try to make her feel behind. She does not rush into the arms of someone unworthy just to silence her loneliness. She knows that peace is better than pretense. She knows that solitude is better than sorrow. She knows that the right love is worth waiting for, even if it takes a lifetime. And when love finally does come, she will not wonder if it is real. She will not question if it will last. She will not doubt if she deserves it, because she will recognize it. Real love is steady, not shaky. Real love is patient, not pressuring. Real love is safe, not suffocating. And because she refused to chase, she will know the difference between counterfeit and authentic. A smart woman never chases love because she has already chosen herself. She knows that the greatest love story begins within. When she learns to embrace her own worth, when she learns to walk in her own confidence, when she learns to fill her own soul with joy, she is not sitting empty, waiting to be completed. She is already whole. The right love will only add to her completeness. So hear me today. Do not waste your years chasing what should come freely. Do not bow to desperation. Do not sacrifice your dignity. Do not confuse the pursuit of attention with the presence of love. The love you chase will always run away. The love that is yours by design will always find you. One of the hardest lessons a woman can learn is that not everyone who smiles in your face is truly your friend. Not everyone who claps for you is celebrating you. Everyone who sits at your table is eating with you. Some are eating from you. Friendship is one of life's most precious treasures, but it can also be one of its most painful illusions when it is not real. That is why a smart woman never chases friendship. She does not beg for loyalty. She does not run after people who walk away. She does not compromise her dignity just to feel included in circles that were never designed for her. Friendship, when it is genuine, flows with ease. It is not a war of effort where one person gives all while the other barely shows up. It is not a lopsided relationship where you are constantly proving yourself worthy of their time. A smart woman understands that true friends do not need chasing, because true friends stand beside you storms and sunshine, through tears and laughter, through victory and defeat. When a woman chases friendship, she places herself in a dangerous position. She lowers her boundaries just to be accepted. She tolerates disrespect just to feel like she belongs. She silences her voice so she will not be rejected. She spends her energy running after people who have already shown her that she is not a priority in their lives. The smart woman has learned to discern the difference between acquaintances, opportunists, and real companions. She knows that if you have to run after someone to keep them, they were never truly with you in the first place. There is a deep loneliness in chasing friendship, because the chase itself reveals the truth. You are giving more than you are receiving. You are pouring into a well that has no water to return. You are building a bridge that no one is crossing. And slowly, you drain yourself in pursuit of something that was never meant to sustain you. A smart woman refuses to exhaust herself that way. She knows that true friendship is reciprocal. It is mutual respect, mutual loyalty, mutual love. It is not one-sided sacrifice. True friends walk into your life without you begging them to stay. They do not disappear in your weakness and return only when you are strong. They do not gossip about you in your absence and pretend loyalty in your presence. They do not compete with you, undermine you, or secretly resent your growth. A smart woman never chases friendship because she knows the right friends will never require her to. The right friends will choose her as she is, not for what she can provide, not for what she can give, not for the access she brings, but simply because of the bond that exists between them. Woman who has learned this wisdom carries herself differently. She no longer panics when people drift away. She no longer crumbles when someone excludes her. She no longer bends herself to fit into spaces where she does not belong. Instead, she stands still. She guards her peace. And she trusts that the friendships designed for her will always meet her where she is. She understands that loneliness is better than betrayal, solitude is better than false company, and that being alone with peace is far more valuable than being surrounded by noise without love. The danger of chasing friendship is that it blinds you to truth. You begin to call people friend who were never your friends. You give them access to your secrets, your struggles, your dreams, only to watch them misuse it, twist it, and even weaponize it against you. You mistake familiarity for loyalty, presence for commitment, association for intimacy. But a smart woman learns to guard her heart. She does not open her life to everyone who knocks on the door. She does not chase people who leave. She does not waste energy watering dead plants. The friends worth keeping do not make you wonder where you stand. They do not keep you guessing about their loyalty. They are consistent, dependable, trustworthy. When you find them, you do not have to chase them because the bond is mutual. But until those friendships reveal themselves, a smart woman is not afraid to stand alone. She would rather walk alone in integrity than walk in a crowd built on pretense. She would rather invest in her own growth than waste time begging to be included in circles that cannot handle her light. There is something magnetic about a woman who refuses to chase friendship. The very moment she stops running after people, the right people begin to be drawn to her. When she stands in her truth, those who resonate with that truth naturally come closer. She does not have to manipulate her way into acceptance because authenticity attracts authenticity. Real always recognizes real. Everyone deserves to sit at your table. Not everyone is qualified to walk with you into your next season. Some people were only meant for a chapter, not the whole book. Some were meant for the journey, not the destination. And if you spend your energy chasing after those who were meant to leave, you will miss those who were meant to stay. That is why a smart woman does not chase friendship, because she knows that letting go of the wrong people makes room for the right ones. Friendship should not be forced. It should not drain you. It should not demand constant performance. It should be natural, uplifting, and safe. Smart woman never chases friendship because she knows her worth, and her worth does not depend on how many people surround her. She understands that one true friend is more valuable than 100 false ones. She understands that companionship built on truth is more powerful than company built on convenience. And so she waits with peace, not with desperation. She waits with strength, not with fear. She waits with the confidence that those who are meant for her will find her, and those who are not will fade away. She is no longer afraid of being alone because she has learned that her own presence is enough. And in time, the right friendships will reveal themselves, not because she chased them, but because she chose herself first. A smart woman never chases friendship. She invests in herself. She protects her peace. She stands in her truth. And in doing so, she attracts those who are meant to walk beside her. The rest will drift away. The rest will drift away. And she will not grieve it because she knows that not every presence is a blessing and not every absence is a loss. Friendship that requires chasing is not friendship at all. True friendship does not run away. It stays, endures, it loves, it protects. And a smart woman, full of wisdom, courage, and dignity, knows this with all her heart. That is why she never runs after it, because what is real will never require the chase. Life has a way of teaching us that opportunity is not something you run after, it is something you prepare for. A woman who is wise, who is grounded, who is smart has come to understand that chasing opportunity is like chasing the wind. The more you run after it, the more it slips through your hands. When you are ready, when you are positioned, when you are faithful in your preparation, opportunity comes looking for you. That is why a smart woman never chases opportunity. She prepares herself so fully that when the right door swings open, she does not hesitate. She does not stumble. She does not beg for permission. She simply walks through it. There are so many women who spend their lives exhausted, running after every open door, knocking on windows that were never designed for them, begging for a seat at tables that cannot even contain the weight of their destiny. They believe that their worth will be proven by how hard they chase, how many doors they can force open, how many rooms they can squeeze themselves into. What happens when you finally get into a room that was never meant for you? What happens when you sit at a table that was not built for you? You find yourself shrinking to fit, compromising to stay, and begging to be kept. But the smart woman knows better. She does not chase opportunity because she understands that what is hers cannot be stolen. What is meant for her cannot pass her by. What has her name on it will not be given to anyone else. The smart woman lives by a different rhythm. She invests in her growth, not in a chase. She develops her character, not just her connections. She polishes her skills, not just her speeches. She spends her time becoming because she knows that the becoming attracts the opportunity. A prepared woman will never have to chase what is hers. The moment comes and it recognizes her. Door opens and it was already designed to fit her stature. She does not need to force. She does not need to manipulate. She does not need to beg. Her preparation does the talking, her discipline does the work, and her consistency creates the magnetism that draws opportunity her way. When a woman chases opportunity, she lives in a constant state of anxiety. She is always worried about missing her chance. She is always fearful that someone else will get ahead of her. She is always restless, thinking that life is a competition where she has to outrun everyone else to be seen. But the smart woman has learned to rest in timing. She knows that delay is not denial, that preparation is not punishment, and that waiting is not wasted time. She does not chase opportunity because she knows that opportunity has a way of chasing those who are truly ready. Look at nature. The seed does not chase the harvest. The seed simply roots itself in the soil, receives the water, absorbs the sunlight, and grows quietly beneath the surface. And when the season is right, it breaks forth. It does not run after the fruit, it becomes the fruit. In the same way, smart woman knows that her job is not to chase the outcome, but to prepare in the hidden seasons, to grow in the unseen places, to be faithful when no one is watching, and when the time comes, her harvest will speak for itself. There is a danger in chasing opportunity because it makes you vulnerable to exploitation. When you are desperate for a chance, you will settle for less than you deserve. You will accept positions that diminish your worth. You will tolerate treatment that does not reflect your value. You will allow doors to open that trap you instead of free you. But when you refuse to chase, when you trust that the right opportunity will come, you protect your dignity, your time, and your peace. You walk into doors that align with your purpose, not just doors that feed your ego. A smart woman is not intimidated by the success of others. She does not panic when someone else is chosen first. She does not envy when someone else's door swings open before hers. She knows that their opportunity is there, hers will come in its time. She knows that the spotlight is big enough to shine on more than one person. She knows that her lane is unique, her calling is distinct, her path is designed. And because of that, she does not chase, she trusts. There is power in patience. There is strength in waiting. There is wisdom in refusing to run after every chance that looks good but was never meant for you. Some opportunities are traps dressed as blessings. Some doors are distractions disguised as destiny. Some offers are bait meant to pull you off course. But the woman who has discernment, who has wisdom, who has learned to listen to her spirit, knows when to say no, knows when to wait, and knows that the right opportunity will never require her to lose herself. The opportunity is truly yours. It will fit. It will feel right. It will not demand that you betray your values. It will not ask you to silence your voice. It will not strip you of your joy. It will align with your preparation, your integrity, your growth. And when it comes, you will not have to chase it. It will stand before you, and you will know you are ready. Smart woman never chases opportunity because she has learned to build her own. She does not wait for someone else to create the platform. She creates it herself. She does not wait for someone else to hand her the microphone. She builds her own stage. She does not wait to be invited into a room that was never designed for her. She designs her own room. And when she does, the very people she thought she had to chase end up chasing her. Chasing opportunity is not the same as seizing opportunity. One is born of desperation. The other is born of preparation. A smart woman does not waste her energy running after what may never be hers. She invests her energy becoming the kind of woman who, when the opportunity arrives, does not have to chase. It is already aligned. If you are listening to this and wondering if your chance has passed you by, let me tell you it hasn't. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. The opportunities that belong to you are still waiting for you. But instead of running in circles trying to catch them, stand still and prepare yourself. Work in silence. Grow in strength. Build in discipline. Because when the moment comes, it will not slip through your fingers. A smart woman never chases opportunity because she understands that opportunity is not the source of her worth. It is simply the stage where her worth is revealed. She knows she was valuable before the door opened. She knows she was significant before the chance arrived. She knows she was chosen before the world recognized it. And because she knows this, she does not run. She waits. She trusts. She prepares. And when the right moment comes, she walks through it with the confidence of someone who already knew it was hers. There are moments in life that leave us broken, fused and searching for answers. Moments when relationships end without explanation, when friends walk away without warning, when people we trusted vanish without a goodbye. And in those moments, our hearts cry out for closure. We want to know why. We want to understand what went wrong. We want an apology, an explanation, a conversation that will somehow make sense of the pain. But the hard truth is this: a smart woman never chases closure. She knows that closure is not something others give you. It is something you decide for yourself. A woman who chases closure runs after people who have already walked away. She reopens wounds by demanding explanations from those who never cared to heal them. She keeps her soul tied to places that no longer exist, begging for answers that will never satisfy. She thinks that if she can just hear the right words, pain will finally end. But the smart woman has learned that sometimes silence is the only answer she will ever receive. Peace is the only closure she will ever need. She does not chase closure because she understands that some people will never explain why they left. Some will never admit the harm they caused. Some will never offer the apology she deserves. And waiting on them to do so is like waiting for rain in a desert. It keeps you thirsty for something that may never come. Instead of wasting years waiting for people who have already shown their character, the smart woman makes a choice. She closes the door herself. Closure is not about what they say to you. It is about what you say to yourself. It is not about what they explain. It is about what you decide to accept. It is not about their clarity. It is about your release. A smart woman does not need someone else to give her permission to heal. She refuses to let her future be held hostage by someone else's silence. When she stops chasing closure, she regains her power. She takes back her control. She says to herself, I may never know why they betrayed me, but I refuse to let their betrayal define me. I may never know why they walked away. I will not spend the rest of my life chasing after ghosts. I may never hear the apology I deserve, but I will still heal, I will still rise, and I will still move forward. That is the strength of a smart woman. She understands that closure is not given, it is created. The truth is, chasing closure is another form of chasing validation. It is hoping that the one who hurt you will suddenly see your worth. It is wanting them to finally admit you mattered. But the smart woman already knows she mattered. She does not need their words to confirm her value. She does not need their explanation to understand her journey. She refuses to stand outside a locked door, begging for answers, when she has the key to walk into her future. Life has taught her that sometimes closure never comes in the way we expect. Sometimes closure is found in a sleepless night where you finally decide to stop replaying the past. Sometimes closure is found in a tearful prayer that releases the pain you've been carrying. Sometimes closure is found in silence, in the absence of words, in the decision to say, this chapter is over, even if I don't understand the ending. A smart woman never chases closure because she values her peace more than her curiosity. She knows that the search for answers can become another chain. You can spend years asking questions that will never be answered, years waiting for words that will never be spoken, years holding your breath for people who have already moved on with their lives. And in that time, you lose yourself. But when you decide to close the door without their permission, you breathe again. You rise again. You begin again. There's freedom in saying, I don't need to know why. I just need to know that I am worthy of healing. There is strength in saying, I don't need your apology to forgive you. I don't need your explanation to move on. Forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. Release is not about their comfort. It is about your growth. Closure is not about their words. It is about your decision. When a smart woman stops chasing closure, she learns how to trust the bigger picture. She understands that some endings are blessings in disguise, even when they feel like devastation. Some doors close not to hurt her, but to redirect her. Some relationships end not to destroy her, but to free her. She realizes that she does not always need to understand the why in order to embrace the what's next. She walks differently once she grasps this truth. She no longer chases people down for explanations. She no longer waits by the phone for apologies. She no longer replays conversations in her head, hoping she will suddenly make sense of it all. Instead, she walks forward with her head high, her heart free, and her spirit unburdened. She becomes a living testimony that peace is more powerful than answers, and healing is stronger than explanations. Smart woman knows that chasing closure often means chasing people who never had the capacity to give it. How can someone who hurt you deeply suddenly become the one to heal you? How can someone who abandoned you suddenly be the one to make you whole? They cannot. And that is why she no longer runs after them. She gives herself the closure they cannot give. And when she chooses to do this, she discovers that her future does not need her past's approval. Her destiny does not require her history's explanation. She is free to move forward without dragging unfinished conversation behind her. She is free to build without needing to understand why others chose to leave. She is free to become more than what they thought she would be, even without ever hearing the words she thought she needed. A smart woman never chases closure. She knows that her peace is too precious, her time is too valuable, her heart is too sacred to waste on people who have already chosen absence over presence. She closes the door herself. She seals the chapter with her own hands. She writes her own ending by deciding that the lack of explanation will not rob her of her future. Closure is not something you wait for, it is something you create. And when a woman learns this truth, she becomes unstoppable. She becomes unshakable. She becomes whole again because she finally understands that she does not need them to finish the story. She is the author now, and she decides that her story moves forward whether they give her closure or not.